Hello, my name is Peter Higgin and I'm Artistic Director of Punch Drunk Enrichment. Since 2008, we've been taking unforgettable, immersive experiences into primary schools, secondary schools, family and community settings. The Lost Lending Library is one of our flagship literacy projects. It's a storybook adventure that unfolds in your primary school. From an ordinary series of workshops with a librarian to being a mysterious, magical experience when unexpectedly, and to the great surprise of the children and staff, the Lost Lending Library lands in their school overnight, usually taking residence in a former classroom, the door to which is replaced by a bookshelf, which is opened by a locked book.
Children's reaction was hilarious. They absolutely loved it.
So cool.
They were all talking over each other.
And there was a bookshelf, and then we had the book, and then we put it in place and the door opened.
They're just the most excited that I've ever seen them.
And there's a lot of floor.
One girl came, as soon as she came through the door, she went, "It was magical."
Oh my God!
Hello. Oh, hello. Visitors. Oh, come in. Hi. Hello.
From the moment the library arrives, heralded by the announcement from the head teacher to a full school assembly, their performances always convey astonishment worthy of an Oscar. To the moment it leaves, the story of the magical travelling library gradually seeps into the imaginations of the children.
It was like a library guardian. She read us a story. If you have like really good imagination, you get to be an apprentice. We got a task and it said so you can draw a picture or write a story.
The Lost Lending Library creates awe and wonder in the children and inspires them to write, to talk and communicate their experiences. It's a really exciting way to learn. At Punch Drunk Enrichment, we believe that literacy is the most important tool for young people to have to access life chances in the future. We know that nurturing a love of learning in this area is key to unlocking that success. We take the Lost Lending Library to schools located in areas of high deprivation, where often there are a significant number of children with poor literacy skills and limited or no opportunities to engage in life experiences which are so vital for children's development. Our research demonstrates that the Lost Lending Library has a significant impact on children, teachers and the school community. Not only do teachers see improvement in children's literacy, oracy and self-motivation, but the experience also builds their confidence and sense of purpose. Children are better able to use their creativity and imagination, and they're driven by a desire to communicate their excitement, joy and happiness.
There was a really big transformation in the class. As soon as one child had written a story after they'd been to the Lost Lending Library, I had a flood of more stories.
They wanted to be able to go back, and it was just the eagerness to constantly return no matter what.
I want to go there again.
Even after the workshop that we had a few weeks later, some of those children who I wouldn't expect to want to write stories are now starting to write stories again off their own back and be really excited to write.
The enduring benefits, I think, are that loads of the children see themselves as authors, that it doesn't matter how they write or what they write, they can tell it verbally, that they can write their stories and ideas down. I think it's the idea that it empowers them to kind of share their thoughts with other people.
The Lost Lending Library serves the work that teachers are already doing. It's a fantastic resource that they can continue to use for many months after the project has left their school.
I'm going to continue using it as an incentive for them to write and say, if we do a really good job with this, we can send it to the Lost Lending Library. They always want new stories.
Day to day when we talk about things, when they don't know about something, the enjoyment, engagement of wanting to find out more, is there a story behind it? I think actually reminding children that there can be wonder in things and it doesn't have to be boring, it can be exciting in its own weird little way.
Okay, so go that way. Oh, thanks for coming. Don't forget to do your stories. Yeah, lovely to meet you.
To date, 30,000 children have benefited from experiencing the Lost Lending Library. 100% of schools have testified that the project has had a huge impact across their school on reading and writing. The library continues to travel widely in search of young imaginations and stories. In this year alone, 2,000 London primary school pupils have benefited from a little bit of magic in their lives.
If I told you there was a magic button, and when it's pressed, it doubles a child's chances of becoming a good reader, which decreases the chances of them committing a crime, and can even increase the chances of them living longer, would you believe me? Well, there is no magic button. Just a real one. Seriously. Because top scientists agree watching TV with the subtitles on doubles a child's chances of becoming a good reader and reduces problems linked to illiteracy. 1 in 4 children will leave primary school unable to read well. So, if it's going to help millions of kids have better lives, why don't we just push the button and turn on the subtitles?
Hi, my name is Henry Warren and I am the co-founder of the Turn on the Subtitles campaign. My background is in education. I used to head up innovation for Pearson plc, the world's largest education company, and I am increasingly obsessed with children's literacy. Literacy is not just an issue in the UK, this is actually a global problem, and it is holding back our economies, it is holding back our societies, and it's something that's eminently fixable. And as broadcasters, we have a huge role to play here. With this one simple change, we can make a dramatic difference. Now, COVID has actually seen literacy rates go backwards with children not being in schools, and now is the best possible time to be embracing this. We can make a huge difference together.
Hello, I've got a riddle for you. What takes 10 seconds, costs nothing, but could help change your child's life forever? Yes, that's it. Just turn on the subtitles. Extraordinary. Research has shown that they can double the chance of a child becoming good at reading. You don't have to tell them you're doing it. They probably won't even notice. It'll work its magic all by itself. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has meant that some children have actually taken a step backwards, a leap backwards in literacy, which is a worry and a tragedy. So do it right now. Turn on the subtitles and let the magic begin. Oh, the places you'll go. If you want to find out more, just go to www.turnonthesubtitles.org. Oh, and please be a sport and share this message. Okay, have a lovely day.
And there are other benefits too, not just literacy, not just accessibility, but having the subtitles on actually increases watch time, and not insignificantly. There was a trial done by the National Endowment for Science, Technology and the Arts, in fact 2 trials, the largest of which involved 450,000 pupils, that demonstrated that it really does increase watch time. So we launched the Turn on the Subtitles campaign in March of 2021, and it's been one hell of a roller coaster ever since. It's now the world's largest ever literacy project, impacting some 400 million children around the world. It's been written into law in India, so by 2025, 50% of all linear broadcast content will have subtitles on by default. We're running pilots with some of the world's largest broadcasters who've just been incredible. The reception has been totally wonderful. But we want to talk to more. Broadcasters, come and talk to us. Program makers, come and talk to us. And together, we can teach the world to read.
Hi, I'm Antonio Gould. I'm the Executive Director of Teach Your Monster. We're an education technology company and we make magical, fun-filled learning games for kids.
Hi, my name is Angela Colvett. I'm a Senior Lecturer in English Education at the University of Roehampton, and I specialise in the co-design of games to support learning.
So just to tell you a bit more about Teach Your Monster, we are funded by the Usborne Foundation, which was started by Peter Usborne, who also founded Usborne Publishing. And we, I guess, started with a really key question. Could we make a computer game that helped children to develop their early years literacy? Now, at the time, there was lots on the market that dealt with this, but none of it was very both fun, but educationally accurate at the same time. And our hypothesis was that if we brought together really top quality games and production talent together in a really collaborative process with academics, that we could make something really unique on the market. So we set about bringing that team together, and we made our first game called Teach Your Monster to Read. And in this game, you create a monster and take it on a magical adventure. And as you play, you get lots of practice with the key skills of reading. These skills are based on a system called systematic synthetic phonics, which we use in UK schools as a key part of learning to read. Now, a key part of this phonics system is about children learning to match the sounds of the letters to how they're written. They then need to learn the skill of blending, which is putting the sounds together to read words, and segmenting, which is pulling the sounds in the word apart when they're spelling them. However, in English, the same letters can represent more than one sound, and one sound can be represented in more than one way. So it gets really complicated, and it can be a really challenging language in which to learn to read. Many kids get put off along the way. So the idea of Teach Your Monster to Read is that it makes this practice fun. Critically, you stay with your monster as you work through developing your skills over weeks and months. And by the end, the child is reading short sentences and little books. And Teach Your Monster has now helped millions of children develop their skills. But as I think we all know, reading is so much more than that.
Absolutely. As Antonio says, reading is not just about learning the skills. Children also need the will to read. They need to develop that drive, that passion for reading, and begin to explore reading in all its forms. So that may be reading books, recipes, websites, whatever sparks their interest or brings them joy. This, of course, has academic benefits for children, but more than that, it also enriches their lives, helps them develop an understanding about themselves and also the world around them. So we set out with the aim of specifically designing a game to support that love of reading. Teach Your Monster to Read, reading for fun. And that's what we're talking about here. The game begins when your monster discovers a beautiful village, and right from the start, they become a key part of the community, undertaking missions and jobs and adventures with the villagers, all the while engaging in reading through digital play. This could be anything from helping out the villagers in the bakery, reading recipes, delivering post to the villagers, reading those envelopes, or even helping a villager with a broken robot by reading some instructions about how to fix it. So at every stage, children are learning that reading is not only fun, but also purposeful as well. It can help us do all sorts of things. And every time the child succeeds in helping the villagers, they're rewarded by earning a book, a free ebook, which they can take back with their monster and place on their virtual bookshelf, which grows and grows and grows over time. So that is a great satisfaction for children.
And one thing that sets Teach Your Monster apart is how our products are built on, as I said, a deep collaboration between game designers, developers, and academics. This has enabled us to ensure that our products are both really fun, but they're also underpinned and shaped by recent research and really sound educational principles. And this is why we work with experienced academics like Angela.
Yes, and it's been such an exciting experience for us as well. I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. And I've had the opportunity to work at every stage on this, on the product development with my colleague, Alison Kelly, who also works on these literacy products. So we've helped to build the educational frameworks. We're involved in concept development, the strategy, but also adding the educational lens to data collection or designing data collection methods as well. And drafting educational copy or publicity materials can also ensure that we have that accuracy and that rigor across all of our communications. This deep collaboration ensures that we build a brand that that educators, parents, carers can trust to support their children's learning, and that's so important for us. And to be honest, it's also a learning experience, a learning process for us. As academics, we learned so much from Popleaf, from their boundless creativity, the designers behind this this incredible game. And they really extended our understanding of what was possible. And they too became experts, educational experts working alongside us. They became really deeply embedded in those principles of phonics and also reading for pleasure. So we had a strong commitment together for getting this right.
And just to talk a little bit about how the games have done. Teach Your Monster to Read has been played over 400 million times by 25 million children all over the world. It's been twice BAFTA nominated. And we were delighted to offer it for free during lockdown, which also helped many more kids during that very difficult period. Reading for Fun was only launched last year and already has 500,000 children a month using it, and has had over 750,000 books read to completion already. But what really matters, I guess, is its impact on the players, and you can see here some of the quotes of what people have said about the product. So what's next for Teach Your Monster? Well, we're now moving into other areas such as maths and wellbeing, and hoping to have an equivalent impact in those spaces if we can. So watch this space.